We're here with Boris from Matica Enterprises. Boris, thanks again for having me and be able to give me a little bit of your time to speak more about your company. I appreciate that very much.
Always a pleasure to speak to you guys.
Oh, absolutely. So you're one of the stocks that obviously I have been watching over the last several months, among many others that are out there right now. But you have recently just come up with something that was very interesting, actually, and that was your partnership with a company called Unify. Are you able to talk about a little bit more about that?
Absolutely, I'd love to. Unify is, I think it's one of our big achievements here.
Yeah.
Apart from building the facility over in Dorval. Unify, they're a research and development company. Basically, they're a bunch of scientists. And what they're going to be doing is they're going to be developing new technologies for delivery of cannabis and topical cannabis. And that's really what we think is going to be an interesting part of this whole market. I do think that oils and topicals is, well, first of all, they're higher value added for one. Absolutely, and that is where the market is going to be going, and we want to be on the forefront of that. And with Unify, they're going to be developing all sorts of new technologies for us. Part of our investment in Unify is to actually gain access to their technology. And it's just going to be, what it's going to do for us is going to open up the doors for us, and it's going to put us sort of at the forefront of this whole industry, in my opinion.
No, it's really, really interesting. It's a good point that you made there as well about looking into all these different types of avenues as well, because growing flower, growing the bud that people smoke is obviously, there's a lot of people doing that. But Correct. You guys are already making that step and really getting out there. But when you start going into these other areas that not many companies have really started going into, not fully at least, where you're looking into what you said, the topical creams, the different types of variations of the derivatives that you can have with that. It's really, really interesting that you've been able to have this partnership so early in your company, but to really, really branch out and start looking for different areas to bring in money throughout the next few years. And I think they're a great company. And I know when we went out there, we got to film some of their lab as well. It was really, really interesting seeing the different scientists that are there, the products that they were talking about. I know some of them they've already begun working on, and some of them are still thoughts. Really, really, really interesting to see where they're going there. And alongside them will be Matica.
Well, they're an impressive organization. They're an impressive group of people. And they're not going to be just mixing up batches of topicals for us. These are scientifically developed and tested topicals. This is something that it's going to be different than anything else that's out there. I mean, these are time-release products. They're using a mineral suspension technology using clays, and most of their products will be time-released. So it really is medicinal. This is, and I think that's really where the market is heading. And I think medicinal use of cannabis is where the future lies. And we are looking at expanding in the province of Quebec. And all of a sudden, I'm finding that arpents are the major topic for me. They seem to use arpents rather than acres in Quebec. It's 0.84 of an acre, if anybody's wondering. And we're looking at picking up some large property in Quebec and growing greenhouses. We're looking at expanding in 5-acre increments of greenhouses, so we're looking at large properties. And I think Quebec is really where it's at for us, and that's where we want to stay. Price of land is excellent. The people are fantastic. You've got an educated workforce, and you've got a huge market, the second largest market in Canada, which I think is underserved.
Yeah, and it is underserved, because if you look at the data that's out there for LPs, there are only 6 LPs in all of Quebec. It's the second largest province, population-wise, in our country. And even if you start looking at the applications for it, for the ACMPR program, you've got 167 in Ontario. You've got about 156 in BC, and yet again, the second most populous province in all of our country. They only have 50. That's a third of the other 2 provinces, and they already have a fraction of the licensed producers. So you're really, really getting a great competitive advantage being in there, seeing how few competitors there are in Quebec.
Absolutely. There's not a lot of competition in Quebec right now, and it's an area that needs to be served. And I imagine that over time, Quebec will reach the same levels as Ontario and BC in terms of number of ACMPRs. It's got to happen.
Yeah.
And we're at the forefront of it, and I couldn't be more pleased.
A lot of people are growing flower. We all know that. But when you're starting to see these other areas, what so many people don't realize is that cannabis is so much more than the flower that you're smoking. And cannabis can go into so many different industries. It's remarkable. And to go into an industry where you're able to have a topical cream that's not only completely organic, you can pour, because it's done with clay, you can pour it right down the sink and it's completely biodegradable.
Yes.
You can actually eat it. I don't recommend eating clay, but I was told from their staff you can eat it.
Yeah.
But another big thing is that by introducing hemp into it, you're actually introducing omega-3s and fatty acids that usually these type of topical creams get from animals, from fish oils and things like that. So it's also completely animal-free. So you've got completely biodegradable. You've got the fact that it's animal free, and hemp in itself has actually got a lot of nutrition in it. And another aspect that you were talking about earlier about their special technology with the clay is that they do not heat their creams, which is very unique, because all the other companies heat the cream. When you heat it, you not only break down the chemicals that are inside of it, you not only need more hemp and more base chemicals, or base products I should say, to go in there. You don't need to, because if you're not heating it, it's not killing it, so you're keeping the same properties throughout the entire process. I think that's very, very interesting. I think you found something really good there.
Well, you're right about that. I mean, certain aspects, they do require heat, but other aspects, the heat is actually detrimental.
Yeah.
So when you have a cold technology like what they have, it really works to enhance what you're doing, and it doesn't denature the product in any way. And the other thing about their technology, it's not just used for topicals. They also have an agricultural division where they've been doing research on agricultural products, which for us it's really interesting because we do intend to be growing bigger and larger and better. And their technology, it's not just a delivery system for topicals, it's a delivery system for nutrients for plants as well, not just for people.
So you're using it in the growing as well?
Absolutely. That's where we want to gain a competitive advantage as well. Because plants require nutrients, and there's different ways of administering these nutrients to the plants. And if you can do it better, faster, and get a better growth, then that puts us again at another advantage. So really what we want to do is we want to do what everybody else is doing. We want to do it better and faster.
And these sound like they're the perfect people to move forward with that.
You know what? Yeah, absolutely. This is not trial and error. This is not people who've been doing this for 20 years and sort of doing it in a cottage industry style. This is a scientific company. This is a scientific research technology company. So they don't actually produce the products. They research and develop them, and they will be developing stuff just for us, which is fantastic. And of course, there's no reason why we couldn't white label some of these things as well to allow other people to participate in it. But they will be proprietary for Matica, which that's part of the reason for our investment in this company.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, why don't we learn a little bit more about them?
My name is Maria El-Kurdi, and I came here in 1991. I was already a chemist, but because it was not accepted here, I went back to the University of Montreal and I did my chemistry degree again, so that in Quebec we're required to belong to the Order of Chemists. I have been the president of the Society of Cosmetic Chemists in Quebec 8 times. It's an elected position, and I've been the president over 8 times in the past 20 years. I am presently on the board of the Canadian Association of Dermatologists as a cosmetic expert to help them, when they need to regulate certain drugs, which like sunscreens, which go in both sectors, which are both cosmetic and drugs. So. And then they use my expertise.
You're using hemp in your formulations now. Can you tell us about why and what you see in hemp?
In a cream, the hemp oil is extremely moisturizing. It's very good for damaged skin like eczema, psoriasis, or just dry skin in general. Because it's a little goes a long way. It makes a very nice. It's a replacement for. Let's say for a lot of natural oils for which you have to use a large percentage. With hemp oil, you can, you know, a 2 or 3% makes a big difference to the skin feel and to the texture of the product. When you're making a hair care product, it repairs damaged hair like split ends, because it's one of the few oils that manages to go into the hair shaft to give you a long-term action. And it's also rich in omega 3, 6 and 9, which is our culture. Our thing is beauty from within, from interior to exterior. So we already have the omega capsules that we use, 3, 6 and 9. And this company started because we have a patented formula called Nox VP, which is fish oil. And so now hemp is just we've moved away from fish because now we want our products to be vegan. So in the cosmetics we use algae oil, and hemp is a nice extension of the omega-3 that the body doesn't manufacture. So we can use the hemp oil as well as a substitute.
Well, this technology that we just presented is quite unique, and with working with clay minerals and all, we think that the synergies with Matica Enterprise is really interesting, creating something very unique with the cannabis extraction process that we're developing here with Maria's expertise, and encapsulating it into this clay matrix, which is essentially made from the same minerals and components when we eat an apple. So this pure chemistry that we will look at how we can create synergies with the extracts and methods that Matica will be developing.
I have to tell you how our technology is differentiated from the rest of the clay on the market. Now clay is hundreds and hundreds of years old. So what we've done is we've taken the clay and broken it up. We've split it and by extrusion added to it different ingredients to make it uniquely ours. That's how it works as an emulsion system without the use of emulsifiers. If you take a normal cream, you add oil and water, and you have to add an emulsifier to blend it together to give you a cream. With our process, it's just mechanical energy that puts the two things together, but that's because the clay has been modified. It has been broken up so that we can put a gel system and a pH-based system within the structure of the clay to make it uniquely ours.
So let me translate that into like common terms. So when you make a cream, you have oil and water, and to hold it together so it doesn't separate like peanut butter, you have to have a chemical bond that holds it together. So I'm the chemical bond right here. So when that hits the skin's got to break it down. And then sometimes that creates irritation, and there's a lot of harsh chemistries out there based on petrochemicals and other chemistries that ladies and men put on their skin every day. And we're becoming more and more sensitive to that. So what we do now is we take this process that Maria just explained, is we modify the clay, which is like a book. We essentially modify it so we can exfoliate it. And the clay, so let's picture that these are like clay layers that are stacked on top of each other. Basically increase the level of space between, and then we make them encapsulate the active ingredients, the water-based active ingredients and the oil active ingredients into a formula. So there's no need to have a chemical bond.
Yeah, we only use mechanical energy to do that without adding any. So the basic thing to remember is there's no carbon footprint. It's all natural.
And it's super clean for clean
Exactly.
chemistry for the human body.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Specific towards plant growth, what yields do you expect in using your product versus traditional products used today in agriculture?
So we've done like a series of, we have like a stack full of research that we've done with Cornell, Agriculture Canada, and looking at two things. First off, like the active ingredients that allow plant growth, but also more importantly, how you deliver them to the plant, either to the root system or also to the plant surface, so it can actually deliver its benefits to the plant. So that's really where we see a lot of gain.
Well, a little research has shown us that the gel structure in agriculture holds the water in the roots much longer. So we don't need as much water to water the plants as often as a little goes a long way. So we reduce the amount of water because of the gel. The gel holds the water.
Great. And what yields increase have you seen?
We've seen like depending on the crop, like high single digits to like 20 to 25% yield increases there. And what we've been like the beauty of the relationship that we have with Matica and the research that we started working on and we're working on doing right now together is to look at how these findings can also help grow cannabis plants and develop like a very unique concept that is going to be helping grow and improve yields when in the facilities where the cannabis will be grown.
So I have noticed multiple biological aging technologies you have patented that's suited towards plant growth and health. Are these products designed to be separate solutions to purchase or going to be designed as one product which combines the different patented technologies?
It can be like, that's based on our research that we're doing right now. It can be like a combination of specific ones, depending on the goal of the product. So if it's plant growth promoters, for example, it's going to be a complete mix of components. If it's more designed for a specific treatment or disease, it would be a more limited number of technologies in there.
So obviously seeing the different information and learning a little bit more about Unify through that clip there, it's a really, really interesting company that I know we've spoken about a little bit more about who they are, but are you able to speak a little bit more on the deal that you made with them, the structure?
Right. With the deal, initially what we were thinking is we were going to invest and purchase 25% of their company. But after learning a little bit more about them and the way the rollout is going to be for them and what they're going to be doing, we've decided that the best way of doing it, instead of just putting a cash injection into them right away, we were going to go with a convertible debenture situation.
Okay.
So that way we could add cash at later stages as well. Yeah. And what this allows us to do, instead of grabbing a 25% interest, we'll be grabbing a 40% interest if we exercise all of the warrants and options, all the warrants that derive from the convertible debenture. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be financing their research, financing construction of a new laboratory for them. Because nice. You saw the laboratory, it's fantastic. Yeah. They need a bigger laboratory.
They need those products going out there, absolutely.
They need a bigger laboratory. They need to do more research on different areas. Yeah. So it's not just going to be just topicals. There's going to be different areas of research, and it'll all be directed by Matica. We'll be directing, this is what we want, make this. This is what we want, make that. Yeah. The market seems to need this, let's do that. So there's going to be some flexibility there, and it'll be directed by us, for us. And I think that makes Matica a stronger company, and it certainly helps Unify. Yeah. It targets what they're doing. Yeah. They're not all over the place being everything to everybody. They are targeting the cannabis industry through us, and I think that's a fantastic position for them and for us.
Yeah, absolutely, for both parties involved. I mean, I know getting to speak with their management team and their scientists as well, incredibly accredited. Yes. People, and incredibly interesting, talking about the different products, the hand creams, the face creams, things I won't even say because I looked at it and I didn't even know those things were possible that they're going to be working into. But this also, not only does it help Matica, because Matica will have, if you decide to go through this, obviously you start getting that ownership, you start getting closer ties to them and all of that, but even for Unify themselves, they're now having a better possibility to use those minds and to use the proprietary technology they have in that clay technology and continue to grow it and continue to work on it, have a larger facility, have more things coming out, and at the same time, as they get larger, you get larger. As you get larger, they get larger. It's just going to work in a great tandem together.
It does snowball. Like. It does snowball. There's so many synergies between the two companies. And as I said, all of the products that we have will be scientifically produced and tested. This is not something that's made in someone's basement. No. This is the real deal.
So yesterday in Parliament, we had a little scare there with Bill C-45. It did end up passing, but what are your thoughts on the whole situation that transpired?
I had absolutely no doubt in my mind that it would pass. I think the government's going to do the right thing, and I think the senators, they're the seasoned second look. Yeah. These are seasoned individuals, and they're going to do the right thing. They always seem to, and I had absolutely no doubt that this would pass. and I'm very happy we support the government, obviously,
Yeah.
in this all the way. And we're very happy that the senators were doing the right thing.
Absolutely. And yeah, and you know what? It goes on to the third reading now on June 7th, so we have some more time still to go, but I'm with you as well. I believe that there's too much at stake for Canada to not let it go through. We are about to revolutionize the world, and it's Canada's companies, it's Matica that is going to be at the forefront of that, and that's really exciting.
It's a great business, it's a great industry, and it's an industry that you can feel good about. We're doing good here. We're creating medicines, we're creating products that people really need and people will use, and they'll use them responsibly because it's being legislated that way.
Yeah.
So I feel very good about what we do, and I'm very glad that the government is doing the right thing.
Well, absolutely. Well, Boris, thank you very much for your time. We always love having a chance to learn more about your company, but just a chance to come down and talk to you and hear what you have in store for us and for all of your shareholders, for Matica in general.
I love talking about Matica.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
I
you very
appreciate
much.
that. Absolutely.
Great talking to you.